Hello and welcome back to the new Women's League of Legends Championship Finals. And we're into our second game of this best of three. Derby's Pajama Guardians dominating the first game against Team Solo Lose Worlds. And we'll be looking to close out a simple 2-0. But Team Solo Lose Worlds, they had the Baron steal, they had some decent plays, and they're going to look to even this one up. I'm still Viper and still joined by Carmeline. And we're going to be taking you through all the action for the next one. But hopefully 2 games, because I know casters are meant to be biased, but I want to always get to a third game. I always want maximum amount of casting. So, Carmeline, let's hope for a Team Solo Lose Worlds win.
For sure, and also we've seen Team Solo's Wolves come back from that losers bracket, so who says they can't do it again, in this game? So, let's see what they can do.
Well, we're going to jump immediately into Champ Select, no messing around. As we get into the second game, you'll see the teams are on different sides now. So we've got Team Solo Lose Worlds over on the blue, with Derby's Pajama Guardians on the red side, and first bad, Hecarim. Still don't want to see Catgirl Trez on that one.
It does make sense again. It's a pity that we're not going to see Hecarim and Linus and Catgirl Trez together, but OWN. I said it before, and they banned it. Does make sense, but Derby's are the ones who banned it. Okay, that also makes sense for me. Those balls into place.
Definitely an interesting one. We'll have to see. We'll have to see why it's the case. I guess it's just for the fact that with Gertrude the Pony being capable on the AUE, you don't want to be giving them the option of first picking it, and the threat of that was enough for them to feel they needed to ban it away. The Galio being taken off Bay Island's hand as well. We already mentioned in the first Champ Select how strong she is on that pickup. Don't want to be giving all of that tankiness and utility over to Derby in this game. Samira obviously take off the table. Champions exceptionally fun right now, so don't want to see that one in the game.
Yeah, and what we'll probably see is Seraphine. I'm actually just kidding, but I hope so. Or Timo. He's quite good in this patch too. So
I don't know. I don't think that Timo's the one. I don't want to see it in this game or any game. So let's just put a pin in that one. We'll circle back to it as we see Kane taking off the tables. The Catgirl Trez is going to lose that option, but Kha'Zix does make it through in that case, as might the Lilia, if it's not banned away final time by Derby. They did ban it last game, so actually going to be the Syndra taking off the table. So some strong jungle champions have made it through this time around, and it's going to be on Team Solo Lose Worlds to see what they decide to prioritize.
Yeah, and Mumi's open, let's remember that. He was banned last time, but now it's open, so let's see what team picks him up, because I don't think he's going to be left out of the Rift, being how strong he is currently. So let's see what they try to go for. Oh, Lysandra. Okay, good pick.
That is an interesting priority pick as well with Malphite. Also a champion that made it through picks and bans this time around when it didn't last time, being locked in. Leona as well, so Eliodora wants to get her hands on that champ once again. And I'm just Lysandra priority. It's flexible. It's an interesting pickup for sure.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to see this game, but I think they've got some things under the sleeve, and who knows what they're planning to do. On the other hand, for Derby, we're seeing already tanks from Linus, and it's going to be Lilia. It worked quite well for Team Solo's Worlds in previous games, so why not pick it again in this one?
Well, that's exactly what they're going to do. Lilia locked in, which does take it off the hands of Catgirl Trez, but with Kha'Zix available, could well be this third pickup for Derby, or it could be a case of it seeing it banned away once again. But it's going to be Team Solo Lose Worlds to pick up their next champion. It's going to be Morgana in the bot side. A lot of AP damage coming through, and an opportunity maybe for Derby to take away some of the more comfortable AD pickups that these last 2 slots could be filled by.
Yeah, and also that kind of repeating last week's composition is for the Lysandra when it comes to Team Solo's Worlds. Perhaps we could see a Lucian in the bot lane? I see it as impossible, so let's see what they try to go for. And Orianna is already going to be on the Rift again, in this time in the hands of Bay Island.
Yeah, so another strong champion, one you'd expect to see in this mid lane as a very comfortable, strong pick. And Misfortune, once again, going to be banned away in the second rotation to start us off. So a very strong marksman for both of these players going to be taken off the table, and will be interesting to see. Yeah, I mean, it's just sad, but at this point, buddy, you know why you're banned. Sort out your ratios and your damage. and then we can talk about getting you back on the Rift. But with both marksmen off the table, you've got to wonder, will these be focused? Will stuff like maybe Mundo be the next ban away from Derby? If they don't like that matchup into the Malphite, are they going to look to take away a second marksman? Yes, they are. It's going to be Kai'Sa taking the table. Again, Elizabeta gets the next pickup, but bans away the champions she just dominated on.
Yeah, I think they are essentially one champions he just played. Like, between Syndra, Own, and Kai'Sa, I mean, does make sense, right? They've seen how powerful they can be, and they're like, okay, you've seen us play it, we don't want you to replicate it, so let's go for something different. I know it's gonna be can expand. It does make sense. You talked about it before, how he could do well against Lilia, so let's see what Catgirl Tress can do and what champion she will pick.
Looks like the Tristana being hovered right now could be the option for marksman, but doesn't get us any closer to seeing what jungler they're going to be locking in unless they go for something absolutely wild. With that Tristana being locked in, again, champion who can be quite aggressive, can look for the resets on the rocket jumps and get that massive crit explosion damage down. And we know that Elizabeta is playing exceptionally well today. We know that Eliodora knows her way around this Leona. So what could be quite an aggressive bot lane being locked in for Derby.
And what I'm saying here, perhaps, yeah, they could go Dr. Mundo, but let's remember Catgirl Tress is also really good with Graves and Nidalee, so who knows if we could be seeing that in the Rift. What we're going to be seeing is Vrel 4 teams lose wards in Hands of Hell.
An interesting pickup, and one that is very, very safe. Could free up Charlotte to maybe roam around the map a little bit more. It's unclear, and I'm going to stop talking for a moment just to see what's occurring. I don't want to get baited. It's Sion. Get out of here, stupid raccoon. Not in my League of Legends games. That is... I know Teemo and Sion look very similar, so that's why it has been locked in.
He's called Teemo Raccoon?
Yeah, he's a raccoon. Do you not?
He's a Yordle, but...
No, but with his latest skin, he's a raccoon.
Yeah, of course.
So
Disrespect him a bit more. Okay, it's gonna be Graves for Catgirl Tress. It's said it. She's quite good with this champion. I'm not worried about her when it comes to this. She can get a little late.
Definitely a strong pickup. Something that kind of slipped my mind a little bit when doing research, because Graves has been such a staple of the meta and such a staple of League of Legends for a long while now, and something that I haven't really seen in preseason. People have been testing out and trying to abuse other stuff, but a lot of junglers are liking Graves still and saying he can still do exceptionally high amounts of damage, can still be pretty beefy, and is still strong for all the same reasons he was before the big patch. So we are just jumping immediately back into picks and bans. Of course, we had a proxy pick, which means that Teemo isn't actually going to be coming onto the Rift. Thank the Lord, it is going to be Sion locked in, but we're just going to run it through again because, as we always say, when there are proxies, the reason that we have them is because some of the players will not own all the champions on these accounts, and as long as both teams know what's being picked up, it's not too bad. It's not too much of a problem. It's Patrick hates it, but other than that, we're all good.
Yeah, I mean, if Patrick is bothered, who cares, right? I mean, poor Patrick. Never mind.
You can't shut off the truth, Patrick. You can't stop us. But with these two teams just running through again, is there anything that's really stood out as surprising to you from picks and bans?
I mean, of course, we talked about Lissandra, who these teams lose wards mid laner Binker. Okay. And on the other hand, I mean, when it comes to Derby, not so many things surprised me. Tristana was expected, perhaps a Malphite by Linus is kind of like out of what I would expect from her, but I mean, she's a really good player. She can do it really well with this champion too. And also, nothing else, actually. I think this is a normal comp. That's respectable. Something
that I want to keep an eye out for in this game is what Hell is going to do with Ezreal. Because as a champion, you look at Ezreal, you look at the mythic items, and you're like, Trinity Force. Sound. Excellent item. But there have been some Ezreal players who have been going for the Frostfire Gauntlet as the mythic item, which no longer does damage, so it's not the same beast it was when he could build it alongside the tier item, alongside the rest of the build, without having to lose the opportunity to get Trinity Force with it. But he didn't want to buy both of them anyway. And the fact that the Mythic gives him health and size means that Ezreal becomes quite a beefy customer. So potentially not something we're going to see this game, but it becomes much more difficult for someone like Tristana, someone like Graves to dive in and assassinate Ezreal if he has 3,000 health.
Yeah, but let's see if he manages to get to that point, because the early game is going to be so interesting to watch. Again, you want to Ezreal to get that lead. And now also, I want to look at the early game. I want to look at how these junglers are going to do again, because last game they were kind of like, in the old lanes. Let's see what they can do in this game and if it helps the team anyway.
Definitely different state of affairs in the jungle than we saw last game, with both 2 new champions coming through. Of course, we weren't going to see the jungler of Kane because it was banned away, but Lilia and Graves kind of have a similar vibe to them, right? Lilia likes to invade early, likes to steal away early camps and fight over these early scuttles. Graves is also very, very adept at doing so, has a good, clear time, and can look to fight early as well. So we predicted that they would be scrapping early in the last game, before the last game kicked off, and it didn't really materialize. It was more about the junglers working in this mid lane to pressure and to get kills for themselves and to try and snowball in that area. And Catgirl Trez and Bay Island had the better of it last game.
Yep.
But with Lilia Lissandra, it's a difficult one to call because we see so little Lissandra in competitive play, but she's got so much setup for ganks. She's got loads of CC, a decent amount of damage in the early stages as well. And if Lilia can get on top of someone and put down 1 or 2 abilities in the early game, Graves isn't really going to be able to help Orianna escape from that.
Yeah, for sure. So let's see how they play that out. Because, again, as you said, Lissandra hasn't had much competitive time playing at the moment. So maybe this could be the start of a trend. You never know. I'm also very curious about the state of Lissandra currently, because again, I haven't seen her that much. So I don't know. Let's have a game and see what happens on the Rift.
Let's have a little talk about support as well, because Leona, we know what to expect. And you said last game, you got to give credit to the players who are playing a very important role for both of these teams. Eliodora was crucial in that last win, but we can put her to the side for a moment. Charlotte on the Alistar last game was one of the weaker performers on her team, I would say. On the Alistar was, but it was a symptom of being a tank support in a team that's losing, because you do basically just get blown up for saving your team. This time around has gone on to the Morgana. Is there a keystone, or a mythic, I should say, that really stands out to you as being great on Morgana? And do you prefer this pick to the Alistar last game?
I definitely prefer it, and what I'm seeing so far is that people are playing Morgana with Leandris, which kind of makes sense, I mean, if you want to go more AP focused, you can always pick up Ludens, but I think in this case, Leandris is going to be quite good. We haven't seen this item so far in this series, so let's see what she can do with that, or if she decides to go that road. It will all depend, what we always played about mythic items. They are very adaptive, that is. It depends a lot on the situation you find yourself in. And Ludens is of course very good if you're ahead, if you want to do that extra AP for your team. But what happens with Leandris, I think it will provide a good utility for this champion. So yeah, I think that's what we usually see her in higher alloys. Now let's see what they try to play it with.
And with the Leandris changes as well on the last patch, will it be as strong for Charlotte, or will she look for a different item, maybe even one of the support ones going into this game? Well, we don't have to wait too long. We're going to jump to a very short break. When we jump back in, we'll be on to the Rift for the second game and potentially final one of this best of 3 final. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back with you in a second. We're back, everybody, for the potentially last time for the new League of Legends Women's Championships. And it's going to be an exceptional game, but I need to give a quick shout out to our sponsors at Amazon University Esports, Twitch Student, and Levi's. And of course, got to remind you about Levi's 24/7. If you're looking for Christmas presents for family and friends, which are awesome fashion, not just jeans, but everything else as well. Sadly for Derby, not pajamas though. I did have a quick check in the break and they don't sell them. But I mean, if you want to wear shorts, t-shirts, you can wear pretty much anything you want in bed. Then make sure to head over and sign up for Levi's 24/7. 10% off your first order online at the moment as well. So that's an added bonus. You can gain points on every purchase that you make, which will mean that buying presents for your family could net you some savings on presents for yourself. You want to check that out, make sure to head down to the panel below and see everything else you can get, promotions, events, Christmas, a birthday gift for you as well from Levi's. So, you know, if your birthday's coming up, you might want to sign up quickly and make sure you never miss out on a new release with priority on new products. Thank you very much to Levi's and for our other sponsors for your continued support on this championship. And we've got jungle camps about to spawn. Junglers starting on different sides this time around, so will be unlikely to meet as early as they did last time.
Yeah, again, I mean, they are on their own place, you know, like they just want to face each other just yet, and I appreciate it and I respect it. Oh, even though I really love level 1, you know, fights, but I mean, still, the most action we're seeing in this 2 minutes so far is in the mid lane. Now we're seeing the bot lane here, but everything is so calm. No, nothing too aggressive, no trades, no anything. Just, you know, farming and living their own life.
Just chilling out. I forgot to reintroduce us after the break. It's still Vibrant and Carmeline, by the way. If you were wandering from the voices and couldn't quite put your finger on it. But
yeah.
Something that is interesting to note, both of these marksmen have gone cleanse in this game, have both put it on the wrong button. Flash should be on F. Come on, people.
What?
But nah, don't tell me you put Flash on D. Don't tell me.
No. I'm not. No, my Flash isn't there.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
But is okay. Here's a question. Because Carmeline, obviously, you speak Spanish as well as English. Much more talented language-wise than me. Is the word for flash in... What's the word for flash in Spanish?
Flash.
It's just flash. It's just the same.
I think we use the same word, yeah. The flash, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably a very obscure word that the Spanish translators have tried to implement in the game.
You just ignore it. Okay, here's a good question for you, because things have been a little bit quiet in the early game. Is there any, like, from Spanish casting, so obviously you can watch Spanish casters and Spanish things in esports, what's the one Spanish, like, phrase or word that is better than its English counterpart when it comes to League of Legends?
You mean like an expression, or you mean like... There are some of them for sure. I just can't think of the some robots. Like they are robots. They are robots. They are robots by eBay, but like that's more like situational. I gotta think about it. It was a very sudden question.
Yeah, I know. I've spun out one on you. You can think about it. You can let me know later on in the game. I just thought, you know, it's downtime. Obviously, you've got a bit of a fight coming through to save you from the questions. Charlotte going to be taking a decent amount of damage, but in the top lane, first blood's going to go down to Lilia, as Charlotte will go down as well. These teams love trading kills in the early stages of the game, and once again, it's 1-for-1 at the early points.
I think I've seen this before and not so long ago, but I mean, I like this because this means there will be loads of action. These teams are already facing each other very decidedly to, you know, get into team fights, and they're not scared of each other, which is also very important for me. I feel like it when both teams are like, okay, I don't care, I'm gonna trade, I'm gonna get the kill. I don't care about you getting a kill from my team. So, I mean, very situational round for both teams.
Yeah, it's just a case of where the kills went, and once again, on the junglers. So setting themselves up, Catgirl, Trez, and Murelion once again to try and dominate the early game. And will it be the same where Catgirl Trez turns her lead into a lead for the team where Murelion is unable to do so? Or will this game be different? We'll have to keep our eyes peeled and see. But once again, Graves moving down towards the bot side, could be looking for a gank.
Yeah, a difference I'm seeing so far is that now they've got Linus Malphite, which I think is a champion that can do more damage than I spoke to soon, you know, like that may happen. But I mean, I prefer Malphite to win. So I mean, let's see if they've got 4 people doing so much damage instead of 3, which I mean is really high number. On the other hand, for teams to lose wards, Sion, again, is not one of my favorite picks. Like, okay, it's very tanky, it's very beefy, but it's what you really want in late game. Like, honestly, it's not bad, but he was just like getting killed very quickly by Darby. No matter how tanky he is, if you've got 3 carries in your team, of course he's gonna be out of the rift in 0 seconds. Now, I also don't Muralian being the strongest player so far for this team. Is Lilia the right pick for her? I'm not so sure yet.
We'll have to keep our eyes peeled. It looks like Derby have already started up the dragon. It's going to be an Infernal on the first one, and they got onto that as soon as it spawned almost. Looking to get the damage down and steal away the objective. With Ezreal being out of lane, it's just Charlotte who's going to be contesting, but the teleport coming through and the root coming down onto Eleodora could spell disaster. Leona not even going to be able to get a stun down because of the spell shield, and she's going to have to flash away. Will be able to escape though with that blast cone, but now it allows Team Solo to be fighting and to take up the dragon. And with no opportunity to contest, an early dragon start from Derby spells disaster, and their opponents will steal it away.
Yeah, but also at the same time, I gotta say the first dragon is the first dragon. Of course, it's important, but although it sets kind of tone for the early game, Derby has come back from this before. We've seen them do it, so I'm not so afraid for them. And I mean, we're still in the 6 minutes in. Not so much of a difference of gold between either of these two teams. Perhaps the extra pressure from teams to lose wars who are seeing it constantly on time up. That can be a defining point for the strategy of this game. We'll see how it plays out.
It's, for me, more of a case of Derby started up the dragon. They didn't need to do that. And they basically handed it over to their opponents. They didn't lose any members, so that's good. And as you say, the first dragon isn't going to define the winner of the game. But they do need to be maybe a little bit more careful with their decision-making moving forward. Because making that mistake now is fine. Making that mistake at Baron or at the crucial final dragon could be more disastrous.
Yeah, it's been favorable to them in other matches. Like, thanks to Baron, they've won some other games. But they also know how difficult it can be to come back if it's stolen, like it happened last game. But anyways, looking at the bot lane now, wow. Good engage, but the execution, I mean, Morgana was quick there with the shield. Very good play from Charlotte.
Charlotte able to shut down the Slurder pretty easily, because when the Zenith Blade comes down, you throw the shield on and the stun won't be able to follow up. So it's going to be much more difficult than last game for Eleodora to get those nice early game engages. And here comes Lissandra looking to get on to the Leona. There's the CC that we talked about. A lot of damage coming down as well. Elizabeth thinking about trying to assist, but isn't going to be able to get too much down. Will be losing her support and now has to jump away while being snared up in the top side. Lilia looking to make a return play onto Lioness, but a knock-up misses, and there's the Drowsy. The ultimate will land, and the ultimate from Sarn is laid on superbly as Lioness will be taken down. Nurturing 20 will be able to walk away from the tower unscathed as well. So once again, it's a trade, but this time around, and we have seen this one before as well, it's looking very good in the early stages for Team Solo lose worlds.
Yeah, I actually like to see that they've learned from mistakes, and also you saw that roaming by Lissandra really... Is she gonna die? No.
She's alright.
Yeah, she's fine. She's just doing as well, you know. I mean, for the rest of Lions, I think Derby's in trouble. Look at how well pushed they are for Team Solo's wards. They've managed to do it while roaming, which is really important, and also the vision is really good all around the map. So, I mean, so far, 10 minutes in, the game is looking good for Team Solo's wards.
It is looking very nice, but that's not to say that it didn't look good for them last game and they still didn't manage to pick up the win. But gotta stay hopeful. It's looking a little bit better than it did last time around, and the opportunities for an upset are definitely there. Derby now looking to get Catgirl Trez out alive. Bay Island coming up, but Catgirl Trez just slid into the path of Lioness, who's there to support as well. Teleport coming through from Lissandra, but won't be able to pick up a re-engage, won't be able to pick up any CC as she's forced to move down mid. So actually, baiting out a summoner of the magnitude of that teleport is pretty good coming through for Derby.
And also, Catgirl Trez is a queen of dodging. Like, we've seen it several times. Every time she's in, like, in order to receive a CC, she just manages to escape so, like, it's so easy. I mean, she's wasted her flash, of course, but still, it's so, I know, I really like how she does it. Very impressive from her.
Always good to be able to dodge out from skill shots, and will be a skill that is very, very useful moving into late game when one Lilia ultimate, one Sion ultimate could be the difference between a won team fight and a lost team fight that could swing an objective or even the game. We've got Retired on the map. Speaking of objectives, we'll have an Ocean Dragon coming up in less than a minute as well. So, going to be a different Soul, and I always like having a nice variety on the Rift when I'm casting best of 3, best of 5 series. So, with this one being a best of 3, nice to see that we won't have an Ocean again in the second game. But this time around, it definitely looks like Team Solo Lose Worlds should have priority over this objective if they decide to go for it on spawn. But Derby could look to contest.
I mean, they could contest it, but let's look at the comp and think if that's a possibility. You talk about it before, Orion doesn't have such high mobility. Elizabeth with Tristana does, but I mean, I think only Scott Giltress, I mean, she's already going down to the Dragon Pit, so I think this can be contested by Derby. I was going to say it was going to be difficult, but I didn't find it so difficult right now.
No, it proves to be much less challenging than you'd initially maybe expect. Idiot or Elizabeth are now going to be moving down towards the ramp looking for the engage. They've got Kagotras and Linus there as well. And watch out for the Malva ultimate. This could be crucial in this fight. Knock up, not landing because it's just a slow. But the Dragon has been started up by Murelia. Needs to be careful. Look at the side. Look at the damage. Idiot has jumped in. Linus there as well. Will be able to get the shot onto the Lily. There's no jungler available. And Elizabeth is still alive, still untouched. As Kagotras chases forward, Hell is going to get one more attack, which should be enough to burn down Hell. And Kagotras will pick up that kill. The only jungler left standing means this Dragon should be easy enough to be taken up. But an excellent team fight coming through from Derby gets them the objective and swings the game wildly back in their favor.
I mean, there were a few mistakes here and there, but Iliadora died early in the team fight, but it did make sense. Like, she sacrificed for her entire team, and now that's gonna be a dragon for them. And also, Kagotras again get that advantage in the kills. Again, a dangerous situation for Team Solo's Worlds, even though Lilia and Murelian also have a little bit of a lead there. But I mean, Kagotras does really know how to make an advantage out of just 2 kills. So let's see how she plays, because I mean, so far, so good for Derby.
Both junglers have picked up their mythic items. It's going to be the Leandri's Anguish over on Lillian. It's going to be the Eclipse on Graves. So both looking for those damagey items, which is exactly what you'd expect from these champions, but have hit those spikes significantly before anyone else on the map, means that they're going to be even more crucial. You can see Team Solo Lose Worlds up towards this Rift Herald, looking for the objective reply to losing out in that Dragon situation. It should be taken up pretty easily. There are members of Derby there to contest, but the objective's already gone, and Lily are going to be dancing away with that one.
Yeah, and I'm also thinking, like, I was going to say double Leandris for Team Solo's Worlds, because we're talking about Morgana's builds, potential builds in the early, like in the pre-game, and now I'm not so sure about it. Perhaps she's going to give her team some extra AP with Luns. I don't know for sure, but what I do know is that, I mean, so far this is quite even, 30 minutes in, and I mean, it's reminding me a little bit of last game when it comes to pacing and team fights and objectives and everything, basically.
I mean, when everything's going your favor, it's always going to look nice. Gertrude going to flash away from the gank from Kagotras, which is pretty easy. Good to be safe, and plates have fallen off, which means that we can look towards that gold graph. 900 gold in the favor of Team Solo Lose Worlds right now. But again, at this stage of the game, it was pretty similar last time out. And Murelian will be caught up with the stuns. Xenoblade follows through, but now the spell shield is then double drowsy. Going from Murelian, it's a slumber party. And Tristana's already gone to sleep. Iliadora now looking to turn this one around. We'll be able to get the kill down on to Lilia. Securing that one for Kagotras, who is going to step forward, is going to get snared up. Teleport coming through to make sure that Hell isn't feeling too confident. And another one coming in behind as well. Members coming through as Charlotte going to be chased down. Going to be able to get the last one attack for the kill, but Gertrude Pony is here to try and sell Kagotras to bed. Linus stepping forward, trying to keep her alive as long as possible as other members will turn up to the fight. Iliadora gets the teleplay. That's an excellent ultimate on deploy from Linus, which should spell disaster for Team Solo Lose Worlds. They're going to lose the fight as Kagotras will fall to Sion, who's going to burn out and fall. An excellent, insane team fight going through from both teams, but I think that one is just shaded by Derby.
Yeah, I mean, was it really worth it going for the kill for Morgana? Like, I don't know, but the thing is, it started an even bigger team fight that definitely went in the favor, except for that Catgirl Tress dive, which, I mean, that last tower hit, that hurt me too. But anyways, as I said, that looking favorable to Darby, and also what will be the next objective they try to fight over. I'm not so sure for now. Perhaps they will go straight into the Baron, although doing it at 20 minutes will be quite bored. But so far, I mean, I think the junglers are the ones shining again. Now, the big difference I'm seeing here is that Darby is relying too much on Khadija, Trash, and Graves to win this game. In the previous one, we saw how the kills were divided more evenly amongst the jungler, the mid lane, and bot laner. But this time around, we're seeing how she has to carry, and that could be very dangerous for this team.
Side ultimate goes wide from Gertrude. Won't be able to get the knock up. Ivor and Lilia coming through. Won't be too worried for Lioness. She's completely healthy under her tower, and some resources, only minor ones, only ultimates being burnt away from Sion in that exchange. But Lioness has been pretty impressive in this whole series. You talked about her last game maybe being the player who deserved a little bit more comment on her, and this time around still has been playing particularly well. Hell now getting the damage down onto Eliodora, but Elizabetta looking to jump into the fight. Teleport coming through once again from Team Solo Lose World. Charlotte goes golden, looking to survive. The Xenoblade comes through as Misandra is there though, and Eliodora is going to be able to secure the kill before going down. Cat Godtrez is there for the second kill with the shotgun. Elizabeth going to get the resets, get the jump, sliding through with the Graves, and is going to look for one more shot to get the kill, as it's a triple kill for Cat Godtrez. In the top side, however, it's all about Team Solo Lose Worlds. They're looking to push through onto the second tower, the inner tower falling at 17 minutes, as Lioness is like, hey team, can I get some assistance here? They're not going to get another charge, as it will be returned in the bot side with this bottom tower going down to Darby. But the fight's going Darby's way. They'll be able to pick up a dragon on the back of it as well, with the first of the Cloud Soul Dragons. But Team Solo Lose Worlds, they grab something on the other side of the map for it.
Yeah, and something very important here, as well as applying pressure overall. I gotta point out Eliodora. I mean, she's not showing as much as she can. This Leona, I think, is not champion that allows her to do so. But still, I mean, making good plays. She's the first to die, but also the first to defend her team, which is also necessary for this kind of competition. So, I mean, nothing to complain when it comes to her gameplay. Now, also, next objective, what could it be? Could it be the Baron? I'm not so sure, not certain. I think neither of these teams are in the position to try and contest it. And I think the main enemy won't be the other team, will be the Baron. So, but I mean, anyways, let's see if a team fight is coming up, because the towers are falling so quickly for Darby. Against them, I mean.
It's a struggle for Darby to hold on to these towers. They've only lost the two in the top side currently, but we know that Team Solo Lose Worlds, when they haven't got something defined they want to be doing, do kind of just magnetize towards this mid lane, look for the siege. We saw it so much from them last game, and were able to drag a lot of Darby's members to protect and to respond. And this game could well be the same case. You can see they've already moved all of their members mid. Ezreal going to be wandering there as well, which means that they might look for a team fight, or they might go to I don't know, just another standoff. I didn't know how to describe it, because both of these teams kind of just say, is there an objective on the map? Yes or no? And if the answer is no, then let's just go mid, which is fine. And it worked for them last game in a case of it allowed Darby to stall out until they could fight these objectives. And that is where they look strongest. But I don't know why Team Solo Lose Worlds are playing into it, because once again, they've been losing the fights, but having some success in split push and macro. So I don't know why they're throwing that away.
Yeah, me neither. I think that split pushing could be the saving grace for this team during this game, but actually they've decided to go for team fights, and let's see if they try to contest this Rift Herald right now, which is going to be the last one of this game. Now, it seems like it. Catgirl is alone there in the pit.
It might be one of the ones that they're just going to try and stall for long enough. Lioness needs to be careful, going to be chased away by Murelia, doing a lot of damage. The ultimate coming through might not be enough, as the burn will take hold as Lilia picks up the shutdown kill. Elizabeth on the other side of the fight wants to get damage down onto Morgana. Will get enough to get the kill for Catgirl. Trez is now Gertrude fighting over that eye. One of the teams needs to pick up. It's going to be Catgirl sliding through to pick up the objective to make sure she can get some value out of it later, as Gertrude the pony is going to be put down. Double kill going over to Catgirl Trez, who also picks up the objective. So again, it's a 2-for-1, but the objective going over to Derby makes it well worth it. You know what? They're just going to try and start the Baron at the 20-minute mark. They've got Graves, they've got Tristana. They're going to be able to do this relatively quickly for this early stage. And I don't know if Team Solo Lose Worlds have any idea this is happening.
I mean, it doesn't seem like it. Lysandra is still in her lane. The rest of the team is going to the bot side, so I think they're just gonna let it slide, or either they don't know that it's taking place right now.
I mean, the 20-minute Baron going over to Derby will be pretty huge. It's going to be taken completely uncontested. An excellent shot calling coming down from the team from Derby. They pick it up on all 5 members. And yes, we talked about Team Solo Lose Worlds being better in the macro, having taken down more towers than their opponents, have picked up a 3rd one as well. But with the Baron buff at this early stage, those minions are going to be hard to clear, and it's going to be very easy for Derby to take down some structures of their own.
Yeah, I mean, I really like in this type of strategy from Derby, like, okay, we surrender some towers, but you know what, we're gonna get all the objectives for the first dragon, which definitely wasn't that so useful for Team Solo Lose Worlds. So now what they gotta face is with a team that is buffed with not only several dragons, but also Baron's buff, and honestly, I mean, be careful, towers are gonna go quite quickly for Team Solo Lose Worlds right now, unless they manage to pull out some kind of a strategy that we haven't seen yet.
Tower's going to crumble if they can get on top of them, but Team Solo Lose Worlds like grouping up. They like defending in these locations and should be able to clear out pretty safely if there's not too much impetus put on by Derby Pajama Guardians. Dragon will be coming up in 35 seconds. It's the scary 3rd Drake if it can be secured by Derby, but they're going to look to take down this tower first and make their lives and contesting it a little bit easier. Of course, it's already been taken on the opposite end as the engage comes through from Sion. Will land it onto Catgirl Trez, who's going to be ulted up and taken low, but will be able to survive, dominating as she flashes the other side of the wall. Eleodora looking to get on, will be able to get the final hit onto Lilia for another kill. And it looked like a great catch coming through from Team Solo Lose Worlds, but Eleodora and Catgirl Trez heroics once again means that they can drop the Reptile, they pick up a couple of kills, and they open up the mid lane.
Yeah, and also, I mean, look at Catgirl Trez, 11-1-3 for this player. This is just incredible. It doesn't matter what champion she's playing, she's just dominating all the time. This time it's Graves, but we've seen her on Hecarim. Anyways, a wonderful player all around. And now, oh, it could have gone for the inhibitor, but I mean, they were just like, you know, not yet. But look at the difference in towers. Like, just 2 minutes ago, it was like 3-1, now it's 6-3. So, I mean, Derby recovered quite quickly from those towers and potentially setting up for a win.
Yeah, they've completely flipped it. 5 towers already off the back of this Baron buff. And a dragon and a nice skirmish where they get the kill lead as well. So it's all looking sensational for Derby's Pajama Guardians. Team Solo Lose Worlds, a little bit worrying. Once again, this is exactly what we saw from them in the last game. Have an okay early game, have a stronger early game than Derby by all rights. But when team fights start kicking off, Derby are just much more dominant in those positions. And that is where it matters, because winning the early game won't necessarily win you the game. And with the Baron buff falling off members of Derby, it's now a little bit of time for respite for the team of Team Solo Lose Worlds. But they need to do something in quick, because Derby know how to close out games. And with that Baron power play being told, it's 5,000 gold on the Baron power play, which is insane when you consider also they took down objectives to open up the map, as well as the Cloud Dragon as well, just setting themselves up to Soul in 3.5 minutes time. They're in an amazing position, and Team Solo Lose Worlds, they're chasing shadows at the moment.
Yeah, actually, I think the problem is that they've gone a little bit like, okay, this shield from Morgana is really good there, honestly.
Yeah, might just save Lissandra. The ultimate flash will not land from the Malphite, but Lioness doesn't mind too much about the damage being thrown her way. It's a pretty beefy monolith who will be able to stroll to freedom, but it's looking increasingly difficult for Team Solo Lose Worlds, and Derby, they need to be careful not to overstep and be overconfident, but they're definitely in the driving seat here.
Yeah, and also now Tower is going to go for Derby. Honestly, 25 minutes in, and it already looks a lot more decided than last game, when it was like a little bit like this objective goes to the team, and this thought we want this other ghosted for team. In this case, I think it's looking pretty, not one-sided, I'm going to say, but like pretty good for Derby in comparison to last one.
Well, I do think Derby have been much more decisive this time around than they were last time. And I think the difference in this game to last game is not that Team Solo Lose Worlds have been worse, but that Derby have been much, much better than they were in this stage of last game. And yes, they were still pretty good last game. They did manage to pick up the win in that one, but the decisiveness of going for immediately that 20-minute Baron, the decisiveness to know exactly where you want to be in macro terms and looking for these earlier dives and fights, it's been sensational for them, and they put themselves in a great position to move towards the Dragon Soul in 2 minutes, to move towards the Baron in 1 minute time, just less than a minute. And you'd expect them to win fights around these objectives. They don't even necessarily need to take the objectives themselves, because if they can take out all 5 members of the Team Solo Lose Worlds roster, then they could look to crack open the base.
Yeah, and especially if you get Lilia, I think that's gonna be if you get her out of the Rift early in the team fight, that's gonna be a really good move in order to secure it. And also look at the positioning. Like on one hand, you've got Team Solus Woods, locating more around the bot side. But now let's see if they are noticing. I think they are noticing what Davi is trying to do here, and Davi is ready to contest it. I mean, they are hiding the bush, ready to attack whenever it's needed. And they're gonna go mid lane. Will we see another team fight here? Hopefully so.
Always like a good team fight, and
yeah,
it's difficult for Team Solo Lose Worlds because they haven't been winning the team fights they've been fighting this game, but they can't afford to give up objectives at this point. Baron might be too much, Soul might be too much for them to give away, and the ultimate comes from Leodora, followed by the Zenith Blade, but it's a nice spell shield. And now look at San just trying to hold as many members in that choke as possible, but he's just going to be taken down by Catgirl, Trez, and Elizabeth doing a lot of damage as well. Murelion going to be the next one to fall, followed quickly by Lissandra. And its members just melting away. Lissandra standing golden in the middle of the map will go down, and it's just Ezreal to escape. They didn't even manage to take down anyone but the support, which is very, very worrying. They lose 4 members. They could well lose Baron as well, unless Hell can get an amazing steal coming through. With Dragon coming onto the table as well, this could be double objective, and it's difficult to see Team Solo Lose Worlds come back from that one.
Definitely. Also, Ezreal is the only one on the map right now. He's in mid lane trying to control things, but I mean, not much that he can do. Also, the pressure on the map by Davi isn't being incredible. Even though they got one tower almost down, which is the bot lane tower, you can still see that the wave doesn't care. Like, it's quite close to Team Solo Lose Worlds side of the map. So, I mean, no issues from them. Like, the waves are controlled. Now they just gotta focus on getting the objectives and getting those kills and potentially the game.
Something that is worth mentioning, it's not the most important thing right now, but it's one of those, we want to close out the narrative that we talked about in the in the Champ Select. Morgana's gone for Imperial Mandate as her mythic item, which is nice to see. Me and Carmeline were talking before we came on broadcast about support items and why they're not seeing as much play as the mage items are, and seeing the Imperial Mandate come down is very nice. We're going to see Soul also taken away, given over to Team Derby. Derby Pajama Guardian is going to be liking that one. Very, very happy to grab themselves the Soul and set themselves up for potentially the Soul in the Elder Soul in 5 minutes time as well. Don't think it's likely to get to that point as the game stands right now, but miracles do happen, and we know that Murelion does have a steal in her if she can get to that point.
Yeah, also, I mean, I think mentally it's gonna be quite exhausting for this team, because once you are so far behind, it's just like you kind of give it up. I know about you, but I kind of feel like defeated already. So I know if they can come back from that, it will show that they have a really strong mental game.
Well, the inhibitor is going to be coming back pretty soon as it's going to be taken out. Catgirl Trez gets 1 kill, the second one coming down, so no ultimate going to be available from the Lilia. Charlotte doesn't have the Zhonya's yet, so can't go golden, as the damage is going to fall down onto Sard. Hell going to be caught in the backline as well, as Catgirl Trez slides through alongside Eliodora. Will be able to clean up the entire ace of the team. They don't lose any members, and all 5 members of Derby Pajama Guardians are going to stand under the towers. They've got a minion wave. Elizabeth dies midair, but it's not going to matter in this one, as Derby will put their names into the Newell history books as the first ever Newell League of Legends Women's Champions.
Congratulations to Davi, an incredible series from them, and incredible run from them during the entire tournament. And honestly, I mean, I hope we see them in the future.
Yeah, an incredible final, as you said, an incredible season that they've had. And it's nice to see it full circle because we saw Derby playing our first match of the tournament, the first stream of the season. Actually, no, it was the first day. It was the second game. But, it was early on, and they lost out in that first match, and then coming through full circle to the end of the season, growing as a team and winning it in the end is really, really impressive to see. And you have to say that they came out deserved winners in this final.
Definitely, we've seen them improve so much in this tournament. Now, seeing them here kind of makes me proud, like being like, oh, what was that at the beginning when they lost against girlfriends? So look at them now, winning this tournament. They've done so well, and as you said before, it's not a matter of the other team being worse. It's just they've improved so much. They're better overall. So, I mean, I get to say I'm proud of all the players that played today from both teams, but also look at how Derby has been able to rely on just any player from the roster to get the lead, because no matter who they were relying on, they knew that their player will be performing quite well, and particularly shout out to Catgirl Trust, who's been doing so well during the entire competition.
Yeah, she's had an amazing performance. The entire competition in that last game especially was definitely the standout player and has been that for quite a few games on Derby's road to this championship victory. And Team Soda Lose Worlds definitely deserving to be in this final, put up an excellent fight. And in the first game, looked very, very close and fought for such a long time. The second game, it did look a bit easier for Derby to come through and win this one, but they can go away with their heads held high that they managed to finish top 2 in this tournament. And there's a lot of quality that came through for this tournament, and across a number of teams. We saw quite a few teams on multiple occasions, and the growth of the players, the growth of the communication, considering that some of these teams hadn't ever played together before this tournament, is really, really impressive to see, and hoping that some of these teams do come back next time around and grow even further.
Also, have we settled already on whether mixed university teams or single university teams are better? Because, I mean, after this game, I'm not really sure. I'm not certain yet.
I mean, Derby certainly looked very, very good, and they're from the same university. So there is a world where you have to say that the teams from the same university have the edge, but it's a small sample size. We'll have to watch next season to find out if that one can be repeated and if Derby can come at it and do it again. But that's going to be it for the Newell Women's League of Legends Championship. It's been a short one, but there's been a lot of fun, a lot of amazing games to watch, and you can go back and watch all the VODs to see how Derby's Pajama Guardians got here and how teams and players from your university got on as well. But while this tournament might be over, there's still plenty of Newell action coming away in the next couple of weeks, including the League of Legends Championship. The classic one, as I've been calling it, is still going on, as well as a whole host of other games. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled on this Twitch channel, and make sure to follow the Newell on Twitter as well, at the Newell, if you want to be keeping up to date on all the goings on. But from myself, Viper, from Carmeline, from Patrick behind the camera, as well as Holes, Shoot, and Catchka, and all of the team at the Newell who have put this amazing tournament together, thank you so much for watching. And of course, massive thank you from our sponsors at Levi's, Amazon University Esports, and Twitch Student for supporting us in this endeavor. Always massively appreciated. But that's all we've got time for tonight. But until next time, we'll see you then.
Goodbye.
All the baseline soldiers.
That's right.